Shadowverse Worlds Beyond released last month, and as someone who never played the original, I have to say I've been incredibly impressed with so many things about this game and the software that supports it. So today's video is going to be breaking down all of the reasons that I think Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is absolutely worth trying if you're a card game enthusiast. Let's start with the most important thing to a lot of card gamers, the gameplay. The core gameplay in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond has some Hearthstone-esque bones. Both players have 20 defense, and you play out units on the board that can either attack your opponent's units or their defense directly, and then you ultimately win the game when one player's defense is reduced to 0. That being said, the core game loop in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond differs from Hearthstone in a key way. Every turn in this game feels like something of a puzzle where you are trying to navigate taking your cards in hand and whatever small bits might be left on your board and wiping out your opponent's board, as we're seeing displayed here on your screen from one of these games that I played. It's very common in Shadowverse for each turn for a player to end with a fairly reasonable board in the mid to late game, and then when the turn comes back to the opposing player, they have to figure out how they navigate and manage their resources to most optimally clean out what the opponent has presented while leaving behind the most difficult problem for the opponent to figure out how they're supposed to clear on the backswing. This creates a very back and forth gameplay loop that also feels incredibly skill testing. Now, I know someone just throwing all those bits at you isn't the best way to learn a new card game, but one of the other things that's phenomenal about Shadowverse is its onboarding experience. It has your typical expected, this is how you play cards, attack, and how all the other core key mechanics of the game work that it walks you through while giving you rewards. But past that, it goes on to some more advanced lessons in a way that's set up that I haven't seen before in a card game that's very well done. There are a bunch of different deck lists with their different classes in the game, where it dumps you into a situation in a tutorial game. It walks you through a couple of specific turns and then says, all right, here are your tools, figure out how to win the game from here. You again earn free to play currency while working through these tutorials, and then ultimately once you finish all of them, you get to pick your choice of which of these deck lists that you're sampling you get to keep, which includes a guaranteed legendary, the highest rarity in the game. If you're looking for more practice past this before you dive on into playing against other human beings, there is a single player story mode where you can check out some decks and learn some lore about the world building in Shadowverse, and there is a practice match where you can play against CPU opponents with different deck lists with beginner, intermediate, and advanced builds for each of the 7 classes, and you again earn currency for playing against these practice decks, and you can even have the AI pit one of your own decks against another so you could practice particular matchups that you might be interested in learning how they could play out. Shadowverse Worlds Beyond also has what is, in my opinion, one of the best ranked implementations I've ever experienced in a digital card game. They accomplish this by having a separate group and ranking as you are playing up. Your ranking is essentially how many points you are earning as you play your way up with each of these sections: beginner, D, C, B, A, double A, all the way up to master, just being a number that goes up, while players who are doing well and performing well are separated by essentially MMR groups, where players who are winning more are going to be playing inside of higher groups against similar players who are winning more, and these players acquire rank points more quickly. This removes a large amount of the feel bads that rank systems typically have, in my opinion, where instead of punishing players when they do poorly, this system explicitly aims to reward players when they are playing well. Past not punishing you with demotions when you hit bad streaks, the rank system also rewards you for actions that you're taking inside of the game. This means even when you lose a game, like this results screen shows, you still gain a somewhat nominal amount of points, moving you up towards your next ranked. Things it takes into consideration for these bonuses even include how long you spent playing the game, meaning that the system doesn't explicitly punish you for playing slower or more controlling decks that might not be able to get in as many games per hour as something more aggressive would. It really feels like the Shadowverse developers looked at existing rank systems that we have and heard feedback from the people who have experienced them and worked to implement a system that both allows people who are more casual to feel good by having their points go up while still allowing players like myself who are more competitive to see screens like this one where you can see where you've spent your time among the groupings and work on improving still by hitting those higher groupings and playing among the stronger players while ranking up a little bit faster because we're winning more. The latter isn't the only source of competitive inside of the Shadowverse client, though. They have fully asynchronous Grand Prix tournaments with each of their sets that we're currently in the middle of as I'm recording this. This is also an incredibly innovative way to run a tournament that I absolutely love. There are essentially 3 stages to this tournament over 2 to 3 days each, and you get multiple chances inside of each window to progress into either the upper or lower part, with the final part of the tournament being something that you can play out asynchronously over a couple of days that you get one shot at to play for the largest prize, exclusive cosmetics, and other in-game things. If you like more traditional tournaments, they also have those as well, with the weekend lobby tournaments being free to enter that you can play once per weekend, which are 4 rounds of Swish with prizes going based on your record. You get anything just for showing up, and if you 4-0 the round, you get enough currency to craft one highest rarity card of your choosing. They are also going to be running an entire organized play system with a total of 30,000 USD in prizing for tournaments that are completely free to enter, with top performers qualifying for a tournament that will have an approximately 700,000 USD prize pool later this year. As someone who's played a ton of digital card games over the last decade and more, I have to say that Shadowverse Worlds Beyond is also the singular most feature complete digital card game in terms of technical offerings that I've ever experienced as well. It has a fully functional replay client inside of it where you can jump on into a past game. You can pause and look around. You can jump to specific turns. And this is such a valuable tool for anyone that's looking to get better at the games that they're playing, making it so you can go back and think through, did I make the correct line? Did I miss a lethal play? It's really just truly impressive. Past features that make the card game aspect of Shadowverse incredibly feature complete and detailed. There's also just this entire world where you have an avatar that you can design and dress up with cosmetics, and you can walk up to people who are playing matches of Shadowverse at a table. And there's a big screen here with a feature match where people are playing in real time. There's guild features with a guild hall. It truly feels like one of the most social card games I have ever touched, if that's an aspect that you want to. Even going back to competitively focused players, when you're playing with your friends or guildmates at a table, there's even an option for both players to have their hands revealed so you can sit there and talk through the lines that might be optimal so you can learn matchups and improve the game that you're both working to get better at. The last specific thing I wanted to call out is a question all digital card gamers and even paper ask is, what does the economy look like in this game? The economy in Shadowverse Worlds Beyond, I would say, is pretty typical in the card game space while making a number of reasonable decisions that I really like. One of these is that you get a guaranteed legendary card every 10 booster packs that you open, which is the highest rarity in the game. The other is that the crafting material in this game, which they call vials, are not restricted or limited to a single expansion. So, for example, as we're waiting for the second set to get ready to release release here soon as I'm recording this video. I currently have a bunch of vials saved up, which will let me craft a number of specific cards that I'm interested in playing as soon as that expansion drops. For the sake of clarity and transparency, because I know people are going to ask, no, this video is not sponsored. I've not been paid anything by the folks that make Shadowverse. I just ended up trying the game out because the number of folks in my community recommended it. I've honestly just been completely blown away by what I found. The gameplay is fun and fast and deep. The client and the animations are gorgeous and fully featured and functional, and it seems like there's so much awesome going on here. If you're someone that really enjoys traditional card games and enjoy role assessment and deep strategic tactical gameplay, I would heavily encourage you to give Shadowverse Worlds Beyond a try. It's available on Android, iOS, and Steam on PC, all natively. I do a majority of my off-stream playing on my cell phone, and it runs fantastically there, just like it does on the computer. If you try it out and you want some content from me, I'm going to link my Hooglandia Shadowverse Worlds Beyond YouTube channel in the video description down below. I've been live streaming there 4 or 5 days a week in the morning and doing regular deck highlights, tier lists, and other guides. I hope if you try the game out and enjoy it, you'll join me over there for some fantastic videos. As always, I appreciate everybody that made it all the way through to the end today. I know there's so many different things tugging at your gaming time, but if you're someone that wants to try a new card game, I'd encourage you to give Shadowverse a try.